I'm going to share with you today a few things that I wish I would have known before I started making any music video. And it's a process, and these simple tips will help you to go through the process smoothly, like butter. First things first, it's your video, not anybody else's. It's not the cameraman's video. Even if you hire a director or choreographer, it's not their video. And you might think like, duh, tell me something I want to know. But this is the thing, is like, your vision has to be like, you have to be so much more encompassed in your vision than you think, because when you get there on set, questions are going to pop up that you never thought of, and then they're going to be asking you. So if you don't have the answer, then everyone's just going to be twiddling their thumbs, because you're going to be like, oh, I don't know, what should we do that, or should we go over there? So the more answers you have, like, no, I actually want a close-up right here, and I want this sidewalk right there, and I want this gray wall, like, the more specifics you already have going into the video, it's gonna be such a smoother ride. Such a smoother ride. Like, I can't even tell you how critical that tip is. This is assuming you're at the point where your song is recorded or it's written and you're getting it recorded, and you have the bass, you got this song together. So you're listening to, jamming to your song in your car, and you're seeing it in your mind. You're seeing the video, and then you create it. So what you got to do is, how many locations are in your vision? Now I'm going to do this backwards. Some people might say to first ask yourself, what's your budget? No. We don't do that. We don't limit ourselves in the brainstorming session. That's like the last thing you worry about, because I will help you find a way to make your video actually be what you want it to be, the best way that we can collaborate to make this happen. Okay, because I want your vision to be what it can be. And okay, that's another video. Anyway, so how many locations? So you're listening to your song, you're like, oh yeah, I totally see me like riding a cool motorcycle right here, and then there's this big willow tree, and then later I go by the fireplace, and then there's a swimming pool. Or do you just see a black wall? Or do you see an alleyway? So get clear on what you see. So what I like to do is I like to lay down on my back or on my stomach, and then I have some paper, and then I just listen to the song. And then when I see something, I like write it down. And so get a few general locations. And then if there's dancing, is there dancing in your video? Are there other people in your video? And because those might be like, you've watched the video so many times in your head. When I have a music video, I've like already seen it. Sometimes like I don't even want to make it, because I'm like, no, I'm good. I've already watched it. Like I don't make it for me to watch it. I make it for the process of making it, but I've already watched it in my head. I'm like, no, I'm good. I actually watch it all the time in my brain. So, but there's little things like, say you're like, okay, in this part of my song, I'm walking by the street and some people ride their bikes down. So the alleyway, you get the crosswalk, then you're like, wait, where's the bike riders? I had bike riders in my vision. Like, you have to pick those out. You gotta pick those out and be like, I need bike riders. That means I also need bikes. Do I care what color the bikes are? You're like, yeah, actually, it was 2 pink beach cruisers in the vision. Well, if you don't, you have to know all of that beforehand. So that's why you start with the list. Don't get overwhelmed. Just like write it down. Which leads me to the next thing, people and props. People and props. People and props, okay? So every single thing that you could possibly use, you're using a notebook in your video. And perfectly possible. I was like, I'm using a notebook. And how many outfits do you have? How many costume changes? You can count your costumes as props, because when you're going to be gathering it, especially if it's more, you're an independent person, just get a giant bin, and maybe like you're shooting your video in a week or so. Everything you think of that you need in your video, just start adding it to the box. Be like, oh, I might want these earrings in that shoot. I might want this. Just have it, just start throwing it in your music video bin so that you can like take it all there, okay?